I hope y'all brought enough water with y'all, cause it's about to get real hot.
Yeah.
Cause with this next song, we ready to enter the shadow realm and into the gates of hell.
Hey, yo, what'd he say?
Yeah!
What'd he say?
So y'all motherfuckers better be ready to sell y'all souls.
Oh, nah, hold on. I think I'm at the wrong concert.
I just need y'all to sing these lyrics with me.
Hey, yo,
Come on, DJ, spin that shit. Yeah! Yeah! Demons.
Bro, you ain't just hear what he said? Yo, you
Demons.
Why y'all not listening?
Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To USA Shalom. This is the brother Amawan Ariyah from GMS Charlotte, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kwadash. And pretty much in this lesson, I want to go into how these rappers, these entertainers, mainly dealing with the music industry, how our people that are involved in this music industry are modern day witches and warlocks that are being used to push Satan onto our people. Okay? So, as you saw from the video that I started the lesson out with, all right, this is a Jake. You know, I guess he does like skit videos on Instagram and whatever other social media platforms that he has. But what he showed in this video is pretty much true to what, pretty much the point I'm making, that these rappers, these singers are being used to push Satan upon our people. All right. And I can speak from personal testimony from seeing, you know, the enchantment take place. All right. Which I'm going to get into in a minute once I read the scripture. But understand, you Akim and you Akwaf, that, you know, have been awoken to this truth, that we are living in highly satanic times, man. Highly demonic times, man. And Satan is heavy at work trying to take as many souls as he can. And so these devils, all right, in their plans to pretty much, you know, destroy the nation of Israel, are using the sellouts of our people to pretty much, you know, beguile more and more souls as we get closer to the day of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's judgment. So with knowing that, all right, it's even more essential for you to get more engulfed within this truth, man, all right, so that you can be protected from the enchantments that are being sent out upon us, man. Okay, so let's start here in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and 11. It says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right, in the NLT, it says, put on all God's armor so that you will be able to stand against all strategies of the devil, because as the scriptures tell you, let me get this real quick, Satan is heavily at work right now, you know, pretty much, you know, trying to figure out whatever avenue that he can use to, you know, beguile the souls of those that he sees are, you know, pretty much prime for the picking. All right. So this is, where we at? I'm gonna just read it. 1 Peter chapter 5 and 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So this is why it's so important for you to continue to stay under the umbrella of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, so that you're not taken by the attempts that Satan, you know, does to take you out this truth, man. All right? Because, hey, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they are gone because they don't have the protection to, you know, shield them from these demonic enchantments that are being sent out. Okay? So let's go back. Ephesians chapter 6 and 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So we understand that, hey, this war that you constantly hear us speak on, it goes beyond you know nationality or skin color. All right, it's not a black and white thing. No, this is spiritual warfare that we are seeing taking place, man. And as it says, we're not warring against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, because the rulers of this world, the elites, all right, the so-called 13 royal bloodlines, all right, they are high level demonic Satanists, all right, who have fully tapped into the left hand side of Yahweh Shem Shai's knowledge, man. All right, so they are being guided by demonic influence to be able to put their mark upon this world, man. Okay, it says the rulers of darkness of this world against spiritual wickedness in high places. And when you used to go into the Blue Letter before they changed it, the definition for spiritual wickedness in high places used to say a hierarchy of demons. And we understand that this world is Satan's program, man. All right, and so with this being known, all right, this man being tapped into the power of Satan has been able to pretty much use whatever methods that Satan has given the knowledge to pretty much control the minds of the people and get them to worship Satan, man. All right. So let me prove that this is Satan's world. All right. So this is the book of Saint Matthew, chapter 4 and 8. It says again, "The devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them." Because when you go into past captivities, all the nations that rule and whatever particular point of time that the Lord granted them, power to rule in their kingdom, they all worship Satan. Because understand, there is only one power. All right, let me get that real quick. I'm gonna come right back. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and 5. It says, "I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know that from the rising of the sun and from the west, that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and there is none else." Okay, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the true living power. Okay, Yahweh was being who the word inwardly calls God. All right, through his son Yahweh Shai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus. Okay, that is the name of the true living power. All right, so let's get this right quick. Salakia, that's not the right reference. Salakia, bear with me. This is Psalm chapter 96 and 5. It says, "For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens." So, like I was saying, all the nations that have ruled in times past, leading all the way up until today, all right, they have their gods that they worship. All right, all the Allahs, the Buddhas, the Shiva, the Ra, and all whatever 600 something gods the Egyptians, whatever god that these other nations all claim to worship, they are no gods. They are idols. And when you go into it, ultimately they are all worshiping Satan, because as we just read, all right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the one true living power. All right. So if you're not worshiping Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, then in essence, you're worshiping Satan. All right. So going back to Matthew chapter 4 and 8, All right. It says again, the devil taketh him up, and this is talking about when Yahweh Shai was tempted by Satan himself after he was on his 40 days and 40 nights fast. Okay, so Matthew 4 and 8. Again, the devil taking him up into an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things I will give thee if thou wilt bow down, it's like if thou wilt fall down and worship me, right? So it says that he got showed, Yahweh Shah got showed all the kingdoms, okay, that that pretty much was ruling or that ruled, and that showed you that Satan had a part in those kingdoms because Satan was the one that gave these different nations their power to be able to rule. And so in today's current time, this devil Esau Edom, all right, has went back and did this and did the extensive research to see and to understand how these nations were able to cultivate that left hand wisdom and to utilize it in today's terms and to make it to where he is able to make the people subjugate to Satan to where whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, because knowingly you have the religion known as Satanism or Luciferianism or different things such as Freemasonry and these different things which when you do the research they openly give praise unto Satan. But then you have the subvert worship of Satan, which is these different holidays such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, just to name a few. These different religions such as Christianity, Buddhism, uh, Islam, Hinduism, and these different things. Though they promise a worship of a god of a different name that's not Satan, in the same essence, when you actually go into it, is actually Satan worship when you go into the practices of these different things, man. So Satan has had his hand in all the different powers that have ruled up into Babylon the Great, which is a culmination of all the past captivities mashed up into one, which is why America is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, man. Okay, so all the past kingdoms Satan has had a hand in to help these heathen rule, all right, which the Most High allowed, to happen because, as we know, just for context purposes, for edification. All right, let me get this real quick because it is all, the Most High that is allowing these things to take place. Understand that Satan can't do anything without Yahweh Bashem Yahweh's approval. All right, Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. Okay, so Yahweh Bashem Yahweh is the one that is in control of whoever rules in these different kingdoms that we see taking place. Okay, so like I said, the Lord gave Satan a dominion to be able to, go and influence the minds of the people. This is why I said, hey, he's walking about like a roaring lion, seeking to whom he may devour, right? All right. So let's get this to show you that this is the Lord's movie at the end of the day, and Satan is only doing the bidding of the Lord. This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So what does that mean? It said that there was a day to when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. So all the spirits in the spiritual realm, they all came to check in with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, and Satan came also together. It's like it says Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So what's that mean? That Satan himself too, the spiritual demon Satan, he is a son of God, but he's a son of God on the left hand side, man. Which shows you that he is even himself subjugated unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So that cuts that whole uh, uh, Catholicism slash Christianity doctrine of, Satan being a rebellious angel that got kicked out of heaven. Therefore, he was used to pretty much, he used music as a means of, capturing the mind of the people. No. Satan is completely in order under the commands of the Lord, man. All right? So that cuts that bullshit ass doctrine. Okay? It says, verse 2, and the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Which goes back to the precept that was read earlier, where it says Satan he walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking to whom he may devour. All right, so Satan is constantly roaming throughout the earth, seeking who he can take. And what Esau has done through the knowledge that he has gotten from Satan and these different left hand demons is use the thing from music to pretty much have an avenue to bring people into Satan worship. All right. So when you see videos, I'm gonna play it again. Like this is a perfect example to show you how the Most High, all right, has given these people over to Satan, because the aspirations of today when it comes to you Israelites is you want to make it as a rapper, but as constant videos have came out from different, brothers, starting with the apostles and even going outside of the world of Israel, you have these different whistleblowers slash insiders who pretty much tell you how the music industry is ran by Satanists, man. These small hatters who push these artists to push Satanism in their music, to let you know that, hey, look, if you want to make it big, you gotta worship Satan, man. And that's what, going back to matter of fact, I didn't finish that in Matthew. Let me go back to that. All right. You want to make it in this world, you have to bow down to Satan, man. All right. So let's read this again. Matthew 4:8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. All right. So when you understand how these different kingdoms, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, the Romans, all these different kingdoms, even today, all right, this is the Roman Empire reincarnated. All these different kingdoms that ruled were given their power from Satan. All right, which really was from the Most High, but the Most High through Satan is what allowed these different kingdoms to prosper. All right, because Satan is nothing more than a manifestation of the Lord's power on the left-hand side, man. Okay? Like Yahweh Shai is the greatest power on the right hand. Satan is the Lord's greatest power on the left hand. All right? And so continuing on verse 9. And saith unto him, the him being Yahweh Shai, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And that's what these record executives tell these different artists when they sign these record labels, man. All right? Because understand how the things work, which everybody should know, because this is common knowledge at this point. But you still have the sheeple out there that think this is just, a mystical conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory or whatever. But you have these artists and these different whistleblowers that came out and tell you that, look, if you want to make it in the music industry, at some point in time in your journey of ascension, you will be approached by these devils, all right, with the opportunity to pretty much to make it in the industry. But in order to do that, you have to sell your soul, and a part of you selling your soul is to promote Satanism to your own people. And Satanism comes in many forms: drug dealing, homosexuality, all right, whorism when it comes to the women, thought rap, all right, the promotion of adultery, all right, the total degradation of the Israelite nation. That is what Satan promotes in a nutshell in rap culture, man. And this was, all pushed, all right, around the time when you had, it was a secret meeting that happened amongst these different record executives. All right, and it's a video that goes into that about how different artists like Crazy Bone. He's the one that comes to mind when I think about this subject. That came out and said that this secret meeting that was made, amongst these different record executives, they wanted to push, you know, for more Jake to be, funneled into the prison pipeline, man, so that Jake can be locked up, so that these private prisons, all right, can make money, okay. So they promoted these different artists to go towards that whole, gangster rap, that whole, drug dealer rap, which is around the time when you started seeing rap groups like, NWA, start to blow up, and these different, gangster rappers and things such as that, and to where you have the music that is today, which back then that was the beginning of that, demonic rap, but you have it to where it's gotten so bad today, to where these damn niggas are openly promoting Satanism, man. All right, let's get that real quick. This how you know the music of today is nowhere near what real music is, man. All right, so let's get that. Isaiah chapter 24. Salakia. I don't think that's the right one. I think it's Ecclesiastes 12. Yep. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I'm going to read to verse 3 just for context. The point is in verse 4. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble," and this is going to the destruction of Babylon the Great, which the music is a great indicator to let us know how this place is on its way out. Because matter of fact, let me get this real quick. This is a good point of reference to let us know the point of where we're at in society. All right, it says how to destroy a society. It says to make art ugly, and when it comes to making art ugly, art comes in different variations. A formal art is the music, and when you see the way that the music is being promoted now, it is very ugly. Matter of fact, let's look into what that word ugly means. Let's go to the internet, Anamon Online, and look up the word ugly. Okay, so the word ugly, it says from mid 13th century, it says frightful or horrible in appearance. It says dreadful, fearful, fear, apprehension, dread. It says very unpleasant to look at. Here's the point: morally offensive. And that's what this music is in a nutshell, man. This music is morally offensive because when you look at morality, all right, the apostles always push about the meaning of words. So morality or moral means it says associated with or characterized by right behavior. It says also associated with or concerning conduct or moral principles. Now, when you go into the music of today, is this music of today, uh, is it of good conduct? Hell no, because the thing that's pushed in the music, like I said, is adultery, is whoredom. All right, it promotes drug use, gangsterism. All right, the death of your nation. All right, because you're hearing this drill music. All right, which is highly demonic, which is it puts a spirit on these people to go and murder. All right, which is going against the law. All right, the scriptures tell you even amongst you Christians, you push the Ten Commandments, right? One of the Ten Commandments is thou shalt not murder. It says thou shalt not kill, but The true law says thou shalt not murder. So when you go into it, this music does not it does not align with moral standards. All right. So that's how art has become ugly. All right. So let's go back to this example, because this skit is highly on point. And like I said, I witnessed this firsthand of these enchantments that was sent at a concert. Okay.
I hope y'all brought enough water with y'all, cause it's about to get real hot.
Yeah.
Cause with this next song, we ready to enter the shadow realm and into the gates of hell.
Hey, yo, what'd he say?
Yeah!
What'd he say?
So y'all motherfuckers better be ready to sell y'all souls.
Oh, nah, hold on. I think I'm at the wrong concert.
I just need y'all to stand these layers with me.
Hey, yo,
Come on, DJ, spin that shit. Yeah! Yeah! Demons, demons,
Bro, you ain't just hear what he said? Yo, you
demons, 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 demons.
Why y'all not listening?
All right. And so this is a perfect example. And the music has gotten so bad now to where it's openly blatant, like in this skit, man. So let's read this. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." This is going into the economy, pretty much, going under. And a good way to show how this economy is going under is to show of how these rappers are getting these lucrative, record deals, man. And it's the most garbage, trash ass, no talent having ass rappers are getting $1 million contracts, man. You know, and I ain't even gotta name names. Y'all know the different people that's being pushed upon you. All right, these new generation of degenerate ass so called rappers that are getting $1 million contracts, but can't rap a lick. All right, you have a whole genre of rap called mumble rap. So for these people to be getting lucrative record label deals, that shows you this economy is going under, man. Okay, verse 4. "And the door shall be shut in the street when the sound of the grinding is low." Going to, there's not going to be any jobs available, all right, when this economy goes under. "And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And the daughters of music has been brought low because this music of today is straight up garbage. All right, these rappers that are being pushed today are trash, man. Hey, when trap music, when druggy music, all right, when all this gangster hip hop shit got pushed, this lets you know that this was the end of music. Because when you look at the different evolutions of music leading up into, I say that the beginning of the end for music, when it passed the so-called golden era, which was the 90s, when it became into the early 2000s leading up into now, this was the end of music as we know it. All right, because they tell you that music, it changes every 10 years, man. All right, and since the 2000s, music has been on a hard decline since then, man. All right, 2000, it was still somewhat decent music, but since then it's been trash, man. So the daughters of music has been brought low significantly, man. And like I said, I've witnessed, all right, these different rappers cast enchantments on these people throughout these different concerts, man. All right. Now, before I go into the testimony, let me get one more scripture, because, like I said, Satan is using these different rappers and musicians to push forth these enchantments upon the people. Because don't get it twisted, it's not just rappers that are doing these things, man. All right, though rap is the most popular form of music today, and a lot of these rappers are being used to push and influence the mind state that these elites want our people to be in. All genres of music are pushing forth Satanism. Okay, all of them, whether it's R&B, pop, techno, EDM, you name it, they're all pushing Satan because, like I said, the ones that are in power are the ones that's behind the scenes telling these different people what to do. Okay, all right, so like let me do it like this. So Satan has these niggas, man. Ephesians 2:2. For in times past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Right. Because at one point in time when we were all in the world, all right, we were amongst these different situations to where, whether you was a concert goer or you was indulging in this rap music, whether you was actually in the industry or had aspirations to be in the industry, man. You wanted to be a rapper or a singer or entertainer or whatever the case may be. But all avenues to where you have influence over the world, like I said, whether it's music, whether you're an actor, whether you're a athlete, even to where even where if you're like a weatherman or you're a news anchor, all people of influence, you all get approached by Satan and you have to bow to him to be able to get into that position. There's no getting around that. All right? With this music, I don't give a damn whether you're signed to a major label or if you're independent because see you have that misconception even with the independent route. Satan touches that too. All right, these rappers that I'm not signed to no major label. Nigga, they still touch too, man. All right. Satan owns the airways when it comes to this music. All right. So the prince of the power of the air has the minds of the people, and one of the main ways he owns the minds of the people is through this music. All right. Now the testimony I wanted to use because I recently, was put peeped this. I recently peeped this. Me and a few brothers went to it was a rapper that goes by the name of Larry June. He's a West Coast artist. All right, he came down here to Charlotte, all right, to have a concert. So me and a few of the brothers, we went to go, check him out. Now, he himself wasn't on the stage, performing at the moment. He had his younger brother, who was also a rapper, that was performing and open for him before he came out, to do his set. But in the middle of Larry June's brother's performance, he performed one of Tupac's most famous songs, which is Hail Mary. Okay, and for those of you that are familiar with that Hail Mary song, all right, Tupac pretty much starts out the song, all right, pretty much doing an enchantment. All right, so I have the lyrics to the chorus for that song Hail Mary, and this is what was performed, all right, by Larry June's brother at that show, and I thought that was weird because he didn't perform the whole song. He literally just performed this specific part, and when he was performing it, you in there, you bobbing your head, and then as he's saying these lyrics, the spirit just had me like just snap out of it for a second. I'm just looking around. I'm like, yo, I'm listening to what he's saying. And I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, this nigga is literally casting a spell, man. Okay, so the lyric from Hail Mary, this the chorus, is it says, "Come with me, Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see what do we have here now? Do you want to ride or die? La 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 da, da." You know how it goes. And I ain't gonna say that last part. La la da da da, whatever. All right, but the main part that he said it over and over again. These people are just in a trance, just saying it. It says, "Come with me, Hail Mary, nigga, run quick, see what do we have here now? Do you want to ride or die?" And then he does the little ad lib part. So I'm on Rap Genius, and Rap Genius pretty much it does a decoder for different lyric meanings for these different rappers and musicians, right? So when you look up the reference that Tupac got for this particular lyric, it says likely a reference to the Gospels found in Luke 24 and John 20, where Mary Magdalene discovers that Yahweh's body is absent from the tomb where it had been interred. She then is urged to run and tell others, such as Yahweh's mother, married by two angels, this tied to the Machiavelli. It says Jesus Christ, but we know it's Yahweh's later time of resurrection. But ultimately, he's promoting Hail Mary, which we know that Mary is one of the false prophets that is promoted, because really Hail Mary goes into woman worship. All right, and like I said, the spirit at the show when this was being performed, it was very eerie and weird, because like I said, he was performing, the set was dope. We vibing, and then the moment he started, pretty much performing this song. Like I said, he only performed this particular part of the song, and you could just look around and see everybody. Everybody is like they were in a trance, man. That shit was crazy. All right, so I'm looking like, yo, this nigga is casting a spell, and this was like the one of the last songs that he performed before he introduced Larry June to come out on the stage. So I just thought that was eerie, man. You know, but at the end of the day, this just goes to show you that these jakes that are in the entertainment industry are knowingly promoting Satanism into the people, man. Okay, to let you know they sold out so that they can get their riches. All right, so let's go into that, man. All right, this is the book of Saint Mark, chapter 8. Go down to verse 30. Okay, that's not it. Salakia. Let me see. Mark 8 and 36. It says, For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Because in order for you to make it in the entertainment world, all right, you have to sell your soul, man. Okay? And when it comes to selling your soul, different artists, like Nori, all right, for Noriega and Capone, or you have another video that it was Bun B, and these different rappers, and there's others, but those are the two that come to mind. But they have interviews where they explain how that process goes, to where when you get to a certain level, all right, you're invited to these different parties, and at these parties, you pretty much are asked to go into these rooms, all right. And as they were explaining, is different doors that lead into these different rooms, to where the avenues of what way you sell out is what they present you with, all right. And the main thing that's always brought up as far as the different ways that Esau gives you to sell your soul, you either can be you could be a Mo, and you can bend over and let these Amalekites, these record label heads, which are ran by the small hats, you can let them pipe you, all right. Or you can push their agenda, to where you are pushing forth the image that they want you to push, whether you're a so-called gangster, whether you're pushing forth that Mo agenda, or if you're a woman, you're pushing forth that thought culture. Or you got the last option, to where you are pretty much committing human sacrifice, to where they'll have you knock off whether it's a family member or a close friend. All right. So these are the avenues that these jakes take when they are presented with the opportunity to make it in the industry. But you have to sell your soul in one of those few ways, man. Okay. So let's get this in the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and 9. It says, "Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such as one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels." And this is the position that most of our people find themselves in, because of the hellish condition that they was raised in. All right, for most Jake, I'm not saying all of them. For most Jake, they find themselves living in the hood. All right, and they're trying to find a way out, and the ways that Esau sets up success, well, what looks like success to our people, is limited ways of how you can make it, which mainly comes from either you rap, you play ball, or you sell drugs. All right, and that's mainly like the three options that you get. This is dealing with the Israelite man for the most part. Okay, so with that being said, most of our people look at rap as a way to escape, and even with the way to escape, you even hear a lot of Jakes. They may start out rapping or making music, and it'll start out sincere. All right, what you have, what they call conscious music. Okay, well, you got Jake that'll make music about their environment. All right, but then after a while, like I said, because Esau takes notice of all what goes on in his kingdom. All right, so after a while, where these different artists begin to get certain buzzes to where they're beginning to pop. All right, people are catching on to their rise to stardom. They get to a certain point to where Esau will come and he'll approach them, and in the means of them approaching them, like I said, those options that I just named are given to them, and then they decide what they're gonna do. And you have some that have somewhat of integrity that refuse to, go into any of those doors, and you notice that their career doesn't go any further than to that peak that they reach, man. All right, and that's mainly because they chose not to indulge in whatever option that these devils gave them. All right, but for those that don't have integrity, this is what happens to them. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Okay, and this is what you hear amongst the early days. The majority of these musicians, you hear the pain and the struggle in their music. All right, because they're mad at the oppression that's being faced. Whether, like I said, you grew up in a single parent home, you had to struggle. All right, you have a lot of these rappers, mainly, just dealing with the rap music, that rap about the struggle. All right, and that pain, it resonates with a lot of our people, because we all came up in similar situations. So when we hear that music, all right, it resonates with us, man. All right, and Esau knows that. So he wants them to push that sort of music. But then when they get to that certain level, all right, now it's time for you to flip the switch, and now you're gonna go into the things that they want you to talk about, which is the drug dealing, all right, the whoring out your women, all right, the adultery, and whatever else wicked satanic agenda that they're pushing, man. Okay, so that's why it says, "In the gift destroyeth the heart," because once they're offered these $1 million contracts, majority of these rappers, they don't have integrity, so they're gonna just sign on that dotted line, and they're gonna do the bidding of what these devils want, man. All right, and this is why you see a lot of these concerts that are promoted, such as the halftime show at the Super Bowl. All right, these different hip hop award shows. All right, the VMAs, the Grammys, the BET Awards. These are the times to where these musicians can have center stage and have all the eyes of the people on them. And what happens when they do that? They are given the full reign to push the satanic agenda that these elites want them to push, man. But like I said, when you actually see and hear what these people are promoting, it's straight up Satanism, man. All right, to give you some examples.
Demonic. It's obviously demonic. Wait until the end.
All All right, this is dealing with the singer The Weeknd. Cause like I said, it's not just rap music that pushes Satanism, man.
It's obviously demonic. Wait until the end.
And you see, it was at a certain point in time to where this was done subliminally. All right, because you have different artists, you know, that's strategic in the ways that they push this. Like you have, for example, you had the rap group known as 3 6 Mafia, which is like Juicy J, Project Pat, these different rappers that came out of Memphis, Tennessee. But then in their name, you hear the name 3 6 Mafia, 666, man. All right, who was owned by I forgot what record label signed them, but their name pretty much with other record label that was signed by the major. The record label was known as Hypnotized Minds, and so they had songs such as I Gotta Stay Fly, whatever the name of that song was. And in the midst of these different songs, what's another one? A Slob on My Knob, and these different songs, it's highly demonic when you go and actually listen to what these songs are being talked about. All right, and a lot of these songs, they've had these different truthers come out, these whistleblowers come out and say like, look, if there is demonic undertones that come from it. If you play the song backwards, you hear different things. Like with 3 6 Mafia, for example, in that Stay Fly song, when you play the song backwards, all right, the sample that was used for that song, pretty much is them proclaiming that Lucifer is their God and their king, you know. And like I said, it's highly demonic. But around the time to where they were at their height of fame, all right, the world wasn't privy unto Satanism like it is now, because now the music that we seeing is promoted, openly satanic, man. All right, like for example, Travis Scott.
What is that?
Now with this video, this was taken from Travis
It's not a
Scott's
flag.
concert. His Astro World concert was with his last
New
album
York?
that was put out. I believe it was last year. All right. Now, there's various videos you can look up. I'm not going to try to look for them. You can look them up on your own. You can look up to where it was open chaos at that concert. Like this nigga was opening up portals. All right, he was telling the people that he wanted them to kill each other. People actually died at that show, and he continued to perform even though it was confirmed deaths that were taking place at his show, and they was letting them know like, look, there's people dead in the crowd, and he was still performing. He told them, do not cut the music, man, because these different concerts are modern day altars to Satan, man. So these different concerts are rituals that they are using the crowd to do. The brother of Tazwan Gabar here in the Charlotte camp, gave a testimony to where one of his people that he know. All right, we had Beyonce that just recently had a concert down here in Charlotte within the last few weeks, and she told him that in the concert, and mind you, she's not in the truth from as far as in my knowledge, but she had told him that she could see that Beyonce was pretty much opening up portals during her show, because the way they had their they had the background, they had the visuals and whatnot. She pretty much had the visuals looking like it was opening up portals in the midst, which there's no coincidence in the truth. In the midst of when they was doing that, all right, she was singing about how she wanted the people's souls, man. Because like I said, these artists will use you people in the crowd, all right, as sacrifices for them to pay homage unto Satan. And one of the things that when it comes to as the scriptures say, what profit, as I said, what profit of the man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Because you literally give yourself over to demons, all right, when you pretty much do these different things, man. All right. Now you had
It's
this famous
y'all
video
seen Beyonce turn into
of Beyonce literally
y'all
getting possessed on stage by a demon. And it's not just her, it's other videos as well. Like another one that comes to mind is Kendrick Lamar. All right. He was performing and this nigga eyes was black. I'm talking about all black. Like the white part of his eyes there, nothing, it was all black, man. Showing you he was possessed, man. And in this video that I'm about to show you, Beyonce, her face literally morphs into a demon because she's known for promoting what she calls an alter ego, which is nothing more than the demon that's possessing her, who she calls Sasha Fierce. And a lot of these damn demonic ass artists, they tell you that they have alter egos, which is nothing more than demons that's possessing them to push forth, their music even further, man. All right, so look at this.
Beyonce turn into a demon on stage? Right. She invites it in right here. When she stand up and dances it manifest itself. Now watch her face.
See it?
Now let me slow it down.
Now you'll have people say, "Oh, that's just conspiracy. That's a bad angle." Blah blah blah. Look, man. Whether you believe it or not, man, demons are real, man. All right, so you can't get around that fact. And as we, all right, are here, this is August 23rd, 2023, man. If you can't see how things are getting even more demonic as we speak, because we know Esau is he's trying to pretty much break the barrier between the spiritual world and the plane that we are on right now, man. All right, with the CERN, all right, these different things that he's doing throughout the news that's not being talked about like that. But if you do research, you can find out what he's doing. This nigga literally is tapping into the spiritual world and manifesting these demons, man. So whether you believe this is true or not, man, these demons are literally real. All right. So we understand, going back to what I read in Ephesians 6 and 12, man, this is very, very demonic times that we are facing, and you need the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah to protect you from, what is taking place, man, because we understand this. Hey, man, the Lord is allowing the veil between our world and the spiritual realm to pretty much break down to where you're going to see more highly demonic activity taking place, man. All right, you Jakes are familiar. I know you're familiar with the movie series known as Paranormal Activity. All right, and it's been hella paranormal activity taking place, and it's only going to increase. All right, until the Lord comes, man, because that was one of the plagues that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah set upon Egypt. All right. So I'm gonna get a few more scriptures before I get up out of here, man. I ain't trying to talk your head off, but through the spirit, this information, all right, it has to come out. Okay. So let's get this in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. All right, bear with me. 15, Second Ezra 15 and 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy them. And I will destroy all the land thereof." So the Lord said He was going to smite Egypt because America, Babylon the Great, is Egypt. All right, spiritually all over again, man. Revelation 11 and 8 tells you that, man. All right, let me get that real quick, and then I'm gonna go to the next precept. Revelation 11 and 8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the great city It's like in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, and the dead bodies being you Israelites, man, that don't know that you're Israelites, man. Okay, it says, "Which shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt," and it's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see why America is known as spiritual Sodom. All right, all this nastiness going on. All right, these transformers, these MAPS people, which are nothing more than PEDOs. All right, all this nastiness taking place. This is modern day Sodom all over again, and it says in spiritual Egypt because Egypt was known as the place of bondage. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, this is, let me see, Exodus chapter 13 and 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of the hand the Lord brought you out of this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. So Egypt is known as the house of bondage, and this is America. All right. On your back of your dollar bill, all right, it has the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid, okay, which lets you know that this is Egypt all over again, man. Okay, because where are the most pyramids located? It's in the land. It's in the land of Egypt, where, according to the Book of Exodus, the Israelites were in bondage under the Egyptians, man. All right. So going back to Second Esdras chapter 15 and 11, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Right. So Yahweh Shem Shah said he was going to smite Egypt with plagues again. All right, and one of those plagues that was sent upon Egypt was that gross darkness, man. And in the midst of that gross darkness, what happened? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, 17, and verse 15. It says, I start at 14. It says, "But they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of the inedible hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their hearts failing them for a sudden fear, and not looked for came upon them." So they were vexed with monstrous apparitions. What are those? Those are demons. They were literally seeing demons in that pitch blackness, man. And in America, Babylon the Great, you are starting to see that take place to where these people are literally witnessing these demons manifesting. And a good example of that, which I'm gonna try to speak it in the way that YouTube won't take it down, but you had the people that took that snake bite, all right, that jump shot, man, okay, and you had that whole documentary that was called "Died Suddenly," and when you watch that documentary, it was showing people that it's like they were seeing something that wasn't there. All right, and they were pretty much in great fear to where they were literally, when they witnessed it, they dropped dead, like in that movie Bird Box, man. And we believe through the spirit the things that they were seeing was that death angel, all right, which pretty much bugged them out to where they dropped dead, man. That's the same thing that was happening to these Egyptians, man. All right, but these different musicians are that signed to the music industry. They are one of the tools that Esau was using to introduce Satanism into these different people, to where they're being overthrown by the different the different philosophies of the world, because these damn musicians are becoming the main sources of influence for these people, man. All right. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And through these different musicians, all right, Esau has pushed his image onto the people to where now these different people don't worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, because a lot of these musicians, like I said, they're Satanism, or they're Satanists, man. And Satanism has infiltrated the whole music industry. Don't get it twisted. It's not just hip hop and rap. Like I said, rock was the original satanic music base, but now hip hop has taken over that. All right, Satanism is in R&B, it's in pop, it's in EDM, it's even in gospel music. Gospel music being the so-called worship of God. Nah, the God that they're worshiping in gospel music is Satan, man. All right, you hear them glorifying Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is Satan. All right, because Jesus Christ is not the name of the Messiah, man. That's an idol. And as I read earlier, the idols of the heathen, it's like the gods of the heathen are idols, man. All right, so none of this music, I don't give a damn if they're talking about God throughout the song, man. If they're not praising Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, they're praising Satan, man. All right. So you can't be fooled by this. This is why you have to have the whole armor of the Lord on you, man. All right, because if not, all right, you're susceptible unto these damn enchantments to be sent upon you, man. All right, because these devils are sending out heavy enchantments day and night, man. All right. This is Isaiah, it's like Amos chapter 5:23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. Right, the Lord ain't hearing this garbage ass music, this demonic Satanist ass music. No, man. All right. So if you hear these people, even though they're rapping, singing about God, they're talking about Satan, man. So the Lord says He's not hearing that, man. All right, because like I said, these different artists are being used, all right, as sorcerers and witches and warlocks to send enchantments upon you people. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, has protection against these people if you're of the elect, man. Okay, Salakia. All right, this is the book of Numbers 23 and 23. All right, dealing with the account with Balaam and Balak. All right, which I believe it was Balaam that was trying to send curses upon Israel, and this is what the Lord put the spirit on Balak to tell Balaam, if I got the names correctly, if I have it reversed, Salakia. But it says Numbers 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what hath the Most High wrought? Right. So, if you are covered with the armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, what the elect is, then there is no enchantment against Jacob. We're not going to be taken by these different these rituals and this witchcraft that Esau was sending out through this music. So yes, because let me also make this clear too. All right, just because we're in the truth, we talk about these different things. That doesn't mean that we don't listen to it. All right, I myself am a big fan of rap music. All right, I prefer conscious rap over this bullshit rap. But at the end of the day, hey, I like nigga music too. But and with that being said, the Lord has protected me to where, that doesn't do anything to my spirit. But at the same time, I don't try to listen to that often. Really, the only time I try to listen to, that bullshit is when I'm working out. All right, because that helps, that helps get the workout in. But outside of that, man, I try not to listen to that shit, man, because it's detrimental to your spirit, man. All right. So with that being said, man, these damn artists, knowingly and unknowingly, majority of them know that they're doing is bringing destruction unto their people, because hey, you become a product of what you take in. All right, your diet indicates on the manner of person that you will be, and your diet goes beyond of what you put inside your mouth. All right, what you watch and what you listen to also indicate your character as well. All right, and that's why you have a lot of artists like this nigga Meek Mill. he had came out and said recently that the music industry they pay rappers more when they rap about ignorant shit, man. When they rap about uh, uh, robbing, stealing, killing, drug dealing, they get promoted more, man. This is why you see a lot of these rappers that's garbage rapping about bullshit being put on, because that's what the industry wants, man. All right, and for you women, this is why you see this thought rap. You see these rappers like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. You got the new generation like this Ice Spice bitch makes nothing but degenerate ass music for you damn bitches out here, man. But that's what they want to promote, because that's the way that they want you jakes to react and move like. So at the elect, we're covered from that enchantment, so that way we're not gonna be influenced by the thing that's being said on these records, man. So I just wanted to bring that out through the spirit, man, to show you that it's high level Satan, and Satanist enchantments that's being sent out, but the Lord is protecting us, from all that, man. So I'm gonna end it right here. Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.